welcome to this video. So today we have a lot of printing to do. We have a new linocut print to roll out for the first time. I'm going to be away for the next 3 weeks. Oh, there's a thunderstorm going on right outside, but it's been like a heat wave here, and if you know nothing else about me, know that I really don't like the heat. So I really want to keep that window open, but we'll see what the wind does. And if a thunderstorm rolls in, some of the city has actually gone out in power. So we'll see how this goes. Anyways, so I'm going to be away for the next 3 weeks, and I do have like a full-time job that I work like Monday to Friday, 8 till 4. And because of that, I usually rely on the weekends to do kind of like the art stuff. So with being away, I'm just trying to be prepared, and we do kind of have a busier fallish schedule in terms of like events and things like that. So I want to get ahead of the ball game and get this going. So yeah, we're gonna roll out a new print, which I am super excited about this one. It's my first like coastal inspiration piece, and it all stems from when I went on a hike. I visited the other artist part of Title and Timber. I visited Leia last year in BC, and she took me on a hike, and I saw kind of like the coastal world for the first time, and it was incredible. It felt like an alien world to me, because coming from like a Northern Ontario community, very landlocked, and I obviously focus very much on like forestry type things, I haven't had experience with the ocean. So these creatures were something that I kind of lost my mind when I saw them, because I was like, I can't believe I've always seen them, depicted in video, depicted in artwork, things like that. And I just couldn't believe that I was laying eyes on them myself. So all that to say, these are sea stars. They are the ochre sea stars that are native to British Columbia coastal areas. I'm going to be trying out some manual color mixing like we did in the last video. And again, I have video footage, so I should be able to recreate it and not forget what I did. So this one took a while. It took a while because of all the detail, which I'm happy to do. Like, it's very enjoyable. I really like carving. I do find I like it more in the winter months than in the summer months, because summer is just so busy. You're just trying to jam pack so many activities and like outside time in, because you know that you only get a couple months of like nice weather before it gets cold and then winter hits. So I do find I like carving a little bit more in the winter, but this piece is like something special to me that I have had like in my brain for so long. I was like, I'm gonna do it. So I did it, and we're gonna roll it out together. This one isn't gonna be released until I think around September or so, just because the ink like takes a while to dry, especially in this like humidity that we've been having. It has been hot and humid, and yeah, it just hasn't been like super enjoyable weather. So I have a dehumidifier running in the studio. So I'm hoping that everything dries by September. So stay tuned if you are interested in a piece. It'll be on our website, and if you are like following on our social medias, we have Instagram, we have Facebook, and yeah, we'll announce when it's available there. But you guys kind of get a sneak peek of what's coming up. So we're gonna roll this guy up together. Okay, so I just made a super rookie mistake and did not start the video. So I was actually, I thought I was recording, so I talked a bunch. And yeah, it was kind of silly because I wasn't even recording. So take 2. So essentially I laid out some ink colors. There's gonna be like one of the sea stars is purple and one is orange, and I just laid out the colors to make that, but so far I'm not happy with how the colors are looking, but we'll just keep trying until we get there. because I wasn't recording when I thought I was, don't think I told you the story. So you'll notice in this video that you'll see my arm has this like significantly weird line of a tan. And I just wanted to say that it's a well-earned tan line. I just came back from a trip to Nova Scotia where I biked the Cabot Trail, and it was insanely hard and pretty scary sometimes. If you've been out that way, you'll know why I say scary. But all that to say, I have like the silliest tan line right here, and also my legs have like a straight line because like biking outfits are super tight. Um, so yeah, if your eye gets drawn to that funny line, I'm sorry. I don't have it in me to sit in the sun and try to correct the tan line, because yeah, I just don't care that much, and also I just don't like sitting in the sun. That is way too dark. Okay. I feel like this is what happened in the last video, is I was like, oh, I don't like it, and then, oh, it turns out I do like it. Yeah, I'll just use more of this red because I think it's helping. This is a lot more ink than I usually use, so, but I have it, so I might as well use it. I have a hard time with like conserving things, even though like I have it and it's meant to be used, so there's no point in not using it. There you go. At least you can see what I'm doing, and I'll switch you guys back. I've actually been a bit hesitant to do more YouTube videos because I've been watching like a lot of YouTube videos while I carve the sea star, and I'm just so impressed by other YouTubers and like the professional angles that they get and like the equipment that they have, and I just don't have that, and this very much has been like a pretty steep learning curve for me. Um, but then I was actually watching another artist this morning while I did some painting, and she said something along the lines of like, you're never going to get there unless you do it. So I was like, yeah, I might as well do it and then learn from each video and each filming session and everything on angles and stuff. And yeah, I was just like stressing out over something that didn't need to be stressed out about, because if you're here, then you have like an interest in either printmaking, art, nature, that sort of stuff. And if you enjoy it, then you might stick around, and if not, then that's okay. It's not for everyone. But yeah, I do hope to like improve with all that stuff, but I'm not just going to improve overnight. Like, I think it's just something that you just keep doing, and each video or each day you'll just get a slightly bit better, and that's kind of been my motto with most things. This is going to be a pain in the butt to clean, just so you know. There. Okay, so let me see, make sure you can see it. Okay. I wonder if you can see my cool bike tan. There it is. Oh, not even a tan. It was a burn, but, and like, you should have seen me. I had the like 10 layers of sunscreen on. Like, it didn't matter how much sunscreen I had. It was hot, and I probably sweat like half of it off. So we have a registration. We lined up the sea stars kind of center, and then we just make a marking so that they all pretty much look the same. As I've said before, I'll say again, like, the first print is like the first pancake. It's not always going to work out, but that's okay. Okay, so we'll roll out these fresh new colors that we just mixed. Hopefully they work out okay. Okay, I actually love the sound of rolling out ink. Don't know what it is, but it's just a nice juicy sound. Okay, so this one is kind of that reddish orange. Now that I'm laying out this color, I'm not loving it. Maybe I'll add a bit more red. Okay, that's actually a bit better. Okay, so we're gonna roll that out. It will kind of mix with the current color, which will be actually give us a cool effect. And one of the things that I love about printmaking, just overall, is that every piece is different. Every piece is an original because while we do our best to like make them similar, you never know what you're going to get. Every piece is just, there might be not enough pressure just on one piece, and it makes it more unique. And I do have a hard time with like focusing way too much on realism and like um, capturing like the most perfect painting or whatever I'm working on, that it looks like the subject. And that's still the goal. But I also just want to recognize that there is beauty in like the imperfect. Not to get like super mushy, but that is kind of like one of the goals, is to have that artistic expression. And I find printmaking it just gives you that. Okay, I'm gonna let you listen to the sound because that's amazing. That is like a really good pull. Okay. Oh, you know what? This color, I was nervous. I think this is gonna be really nice. But again, I have taken a little bit of a break from printmaking, so this might just not turn out because I'm just out of practice. And in that case, we'll just be making more prints today. Okay. I think that looks pretty good. I did notice while I was rolling that out that some of this orange color didn't go all the way to the end. Okay. Now, in the last video I did not make a mess on the first few ones. This one, I've already made a mess. So usually I painter's tape, and it's not super pretty, but it does the job. Here we go. So that will just cover up the extra ink that I accidentally laid down just while I was transferring the ink. So here's the sea stars. No, see, there they are. I'm gonna press it now. Oh, I'm so nervous. I'm so excited, but I shouldn't be nervous because the worst that can happen is I just ruined some paper because it didn't turn out the first time, which most things don't. So, but I am really excited. I've invested a lot of time into these cute little sea stars. Okay, make sure they're nice and centered. So just line it up with our registration. In this case, it's just the length of that. Okay, push down and then take our lovely press. This is the largest size I can do on this. Actually, I could probably do a little bit more, but still, it'll be pushing it just because of the size of this press. And then just press down. Okay. Okay. It is pressed. All right, I'm gonna bring you guys over. Let's do our first pull of the sea star print. Holy crap. Holy crap. Look at that. Guys, we did it. I can see, like, I made a mistake right here. This will probably stay with me then. But holy crap. Look at it. Oh my god. Okay, now we've got like, I don't know, 20 or so more to do. Okay, let's ink another one. Move you guys a bit back so you can see what I'm doing. All right. That was a good first print, actually. Wow. Okay. I am so excited. And I will just do a bunch more. And this is what the day is going to be. I'd love to hear in the comments what your guys' thoughts are like on seconds prints. So I have a huge stack of linocut prints that are slightly off. Like, I've given some to family and friends, and they're slightly off in my eyes, but I've heard from people like they don't see a problem with them. But as the creator of it, yeah, they just don't match what I had hoped. So, anyways, I have these seconds prints. What are your guys' thoughts on like getting discounted artwork? Because I don't want them to go to waste, and I also don't want to like have them sit forever and take up space. When I've personally gotten like artist seconds and I love it, but there's a school of thought of like, does it cheapen the product to do that? I don't really buy into that thinking, but some people do. So I'd love to hear your thoughts. Like, it doesn't bother me, but I do have all these, and it'd be nice for them to get a home. Okay. I'm sorry, in all my videos, like my huge Garmin watch is like always front and center. But if I take it off, I'll leave it off, and then I'll do something without recording it, and it'll just be so silly.